I'm Don Doomsday. It's time for the totalitarian Olympics because it's been leaked that the tyrants will be trying to implement lockdowns once again. It's a time when the tyrannical elites will be testing their skills at inflicting germ warfare and tyrannical lockdowns to try to control everybody on the face of God's green flat earth. But the question is, are you properly prepared for the lockdowns? Or are you going to be a mindless sheep that wanders into slaughterhouse to have your liberty and freedom butchered? On this VHS tape, I'm going to teach you everything you need to know so you can be successfully prepared to stay free and ward off the unwelcome tyrannical advances of the globalists. Masking. When you have a Karen telling you to put on a mask because you're putting everyone's life at risk, here's how to put it on properly. But first, any man who wears a mask, let alone demands that you wear one, goes by the pronouns she, her, and you should address her accordingly. So to put it on properly, take it by the ear straps, opening facing away from you, and proceed to put it on her f***ing face. And then for extra safety, affix a COVID-conscious garbage bag over their head with a tight grip around their neck. And that's how to properly wear a mask. Food prepping. Lockdowns are all about control, and because there's no better way to control a population than controlling their food supply, you can expect food supply issues and shortages. This works well for the anorexic community, but for people interested in survival, you gotta take food supply issues into your own hands. It's time to start raising chickens for their eggs and stop paying your taxes. With their daily egg production, you can sustain your family very well. You just gotta keep the chickens alive, which means you'll probably wanna get a guard dog. Your guard dog will ward off predators, keep your chickens safe, and serve as a good source of meat should your chickens ever stop laying eggs. In times of desperation, having your own food supply also involves growing vegetables. They are a great way to nutritionally sustain yourself if you're a giraffe or a zebra. And if you're a human, vegetables are also very helpful at helping you sustain your life because they're an excellent place to hide a firearm under. Your vegetable garden gives you strategic hiding spots for your firearms, which will help you protect your actual food supply. Haha, I like vegetables. Freeze! Hand-to-hand combat. Once the lockdowns are implemented, you're sure to have swarms of hungry feral people with nanotechnology controlling the brains on your front lawn trying to take you and your family. But before you start shooting, it's always best to start off with some good old-fashioned hand-to-hand combat, which basically means using your gun as a weapon without pulling the trigger yet. Good hand-to-hand combat involves you inflicting sufficient kinetic force into the orbital bones and temples of your opponent to render them disabled. Combat! If there is sufficient amount of facial fractures, you'll have neutralized the threat. And always remember to take their shit. We're living in a time of winner take all. Carry a constitution. During a lockdown, anytime you go out in public, you are bound to encounter people who are so terrified that they're pervasively shitting themselves to the point that grocery stores are sold out of toilet paper again. Them and their shit-stained pants will hysterically demand that you surrender all your constitutional rights, which you're not gonna do because you're carrying a copy of the Constitution. Show it to them while you tell them to go f themselves and then do whatever the f you want. Fleeing California. As with the last alleged pandemic, we're sure to see millions of people in California try to flee the North Korean rule of law that their commie state has to move to states like Texas. Now, if that's you, please pay careful attention to these instructions because I'm going to tell you exactly how to get to Texas. First, walk to your car. As you do, be sure to step over all the feces on the sidewalk so as not to track human manure into your car. Next, get in and start it. Next, orient your car so it's facing west. Then step on the accelerator and drive straight for 300 miles. Do not stop no matter what. Just keep going. All of us Texans will be glad you made that journey. Body armor. With lockdowns, biological warfare is a primary weapon being used against you. The only question is, what are you gonna do about it? Answer, you gotta wear biological warfare ready body armor. I recommend wearing a Kevlar jacket such as this. This will prevent doctors and other murderers who are just following orders from sexually assaulting your arms and shoulders by penetrating them so they can ejaculate the semen of Satan into your body. This simple biological warfare body armor will stop all the Bill Cosbys from the NIH, CDC, and Big Pharma dead in their tracks. Ha! With these lockdown tips, you'll be properly prepared to retain all of your freedom and liberty while being more paranoid yet proud than ever before as you send the globalists home with nothing but their pants around their ankles and a handful of their own crickets.